Sebastian, a person with an intellectual disability, recounts experiences from his life's journey, which these stories are largely inspired on. Author, Jorge Bonilla. Collaboration, Isabel Sousa. Translation, Pontifical Catholic University. Linguistics Career, Translation Center. Direction, Jorge Luis Banet Ponce. Coordination, Natali Penaloza Poma. Recording, Joan Quevedo and Luis Orbe.
Rain is life. I've always believed that people should start the day with a firm purpose of end it well. Of course, there are days that despite cold or rain are still wonderful. I have a friend who loves the rain. When it rains, she goes for a walk. She says it makes her feel alive and gives her energy. Her name is Marianne, a girl who is about 25 years old now. I met Marianne in one of my physical therapy sessions. She looked wilt, skinny, completely lifeless. At the time I met her because by chance we were in the same therapy room. She did not utter a word. We were alone. The therapist went out for some reason, and at the end of my first round of exercises, I caught her looking at me. She hid her haze and I smiled. A few minutes passed and we were still alone. The therapist still did not return. I was standing by the window. She was sitting in the wheelchair. She wanted to move the chair, but she couldn't. With her gaze, she tried to get my attention. Time passed until I decided to look at her and ask her a question. What do you need? At first, she ducked her head and then with a gesture of mix between a smirk and a smile, she said to me,
"Please help me. I want to get closer to the window."
I didn't understand with words. I stood behind the wheelchair and removing that brake that was on, I helped her to move. She looked at me as if she wanted to thank me, but it was not possible. Tears rolled down her cheeks. I tried not to look at her as sensitive as I am. I was sure we were a duo and I just accompanied her in her crying. Then I looked for a way to entertain myself with the equipment in the place. There were several of them and they all set up for different exercises. I couldn't restrain myself and looked back. She was wiping her tears with her left hand. The right one was disabled. I brought her a tissue, and she also thanked me and looked me in the eyes. After a deep silence, in a couple of minutes, she said thank you and asked my name. When I answered Sebastian. It took several minutes for her to look at me again. She eventually addressed me, always looking me in the eyes. She told me that mine was the same name as his brother, a military man who is on duty somewhere in Africa, with the United Nations Army. I couldn't stop myself and let my curiosity get the best of me, forcing me to ask directly, "What happened to you?" With a blank stare, as if she was recalling the past after a few minutes, she told me that it was about 6 months since a drunk driver hit her, while she was walking near to the medical school where she was studying.
"I have lived some horrible months. Surgery after surgery and other therapies. My name is Marianne. I would appreciate if you call me Annie."
She told me with a smile.
"You sure have a nice name."
I told her, but she did not manage to answer. At that moment, the doctor entered accompanied by his assistant. During 3 consecutive months from Monday to Friday, we made each other company in the therapies. And in one of those afternoons, she told me about the great satisfaction that she feels when going out in the rain. "That makes me feel that I'm alive," she said. The last time we spoke, she told me that she and her family were going to live in another country. Her brother was helping her and her mother to move out, and with the relocation, she could have access to better treatment with better doctors. Up to this day, I feel her kiss on my cheek as a manner of goodbye. It sure felt like a goodbye. Not to see you around because I didn't hear from her anymore.